In this video, we're going to be going over using the Spreadsheet Importer for ThunderPOS.net. This is a way you can import items, customers, and other things directly into your system from an Excel spreadsheet or from a CSV file or tab delimited text file. So this is a very powerful tool that can allow for a lot of flexibility. But if we just go to items and then to data sources and then user import, first we just need to choose the file. So we're going to browse to a file here, to a spreadsheet file. So I'll just go into my documents and I'll filter it down to the Excel file. And then if we go in to upload an Excel file, we can then select the type of spreadsheet. So this can be used to import items, customers, departments, categories, gift cards, vendors, or the item condition overrides for already existing items. In this case, this is going to be an item spreadsheet, so we'll say to upload. And then there's two options we have to check, which are whether we want to update existing items, which are going to be matched based on the item ID. Otherwise, anything where we already have that item ID in will be discarded. Regardless of whether you check this or not, rows in the spreadsheet where the item ID does not already exist in the system will be created as new items. So this only affects how new items are, or how existing items are treated. So if we check that, and then we can say we want to automatically truncate non-key fields. The key field is the item ID. That won't be automatically shrunk if you have too long of a item ID. It will always be rejected. But if you check this, then fields such as name or description, if they go over the maximum length, they will be shrunk. If you don't check it, then those rows will simply be rejected. So it's up to you whether you want to allow the system to automatically shrink it. So then you just go in and you'll have the columns in your spreadsheet in the drop-down lists here, and you just select right above. So if item ID and name are required fields. In this particular spreadsheet, I had those columns named item ID and name because the spreadsheet I chose was an export from our system, but it doesn't have to be. And then any fields you don't map that you say don't use for new records, they will be set to a default value in the system. For existing items, if you are updating existing items, any field that you do not map will be left to its current value in the system. So this is like the minimum amount to import is the item ID and name. And I'm just going to go ahead and import that. So if we continue here, it will tell us that our import has started. We will receive a notification once it has completed. That can actually take quite a long time. I do think this one will probably finish very quickly, and as you can see, it did because I did not have very many rows in that particular spreadsheet, and I only was doing a couple of columns, so it runs relatively quickly. But it will tell me how many records are imported and how many failed. It will also send over an email if there are any failures. In particular, that email will contain more detailed information about the problems, such as the columns that caused your import to be rejected. So it's very important when you're doing this to make sure that your data is clean, in particular with spreadsheets and Excel, with items and with customers both, which require an ID. The default behavior in Excel when you're working with those barcodes is that it's going to treat them as a number, which means it will strip leading zeros off and it will put them in scientific notation. You do not want to allow it to do this. You need to make sure that it treats any item IDs from your spreadsheet as text. That's before you even get to the system, so it's not really anything to do within the system. That's just how you do it within Excel. But that's kind of the big thing to watch out for that can trip people up. But if you have any trouble with this kind of import, just let us know. We're happy to try and give assistance if we can, or to answer any questions. But this tool allows for a great deal of flexibility because you can export items and then modify them within Excel using formulas or the like, and then re-import them to do price updates in ways that the system itself cannot allow for. But if you have any questions, just reach out to us.